Hello everybody and welcome to the Sovereign Village Project. I want to talk today about the 4 ways to learn gardening. The 4 ways to expand your knowledge constantly. For myself, I want to do that until the day I die. I just want to keep getting better and better at gardening and at farming and at making things grow. So, by being intentional about it and kind of figuring out the different ways of learning, we can really focus our educations and how to best use our time to further educate ourselves. The first is published learning. So that would be, for example, this video, that would be websites, books, magazines, podcasts, blogs, any kind of media content or published content about gardening where somebody put their thoughts in words or in writing and then they sent it out to the broader world. This is such a great way to learn on the go. You can learn while you're driving to work, you can be running a podcast, you can use your relaxation time and watch permaculture videos and still further your knowledge while enjoying a video. It's a great way to use that kind of off time when you're not able to learn in other ways. And that's probably most of our main source. For most of us, that's probably where we do most of our learning. The second way is maybe a little bit better when you can make it work, which is learning in person with your hands on the ground. And for example, that would be when you are going to a class at somebody's farm or going to an established permaculture farm and learning, or if you have a mentor or an older person who's an expert gardener or farmer in your area and you go and you just kind of apprentice yourself to them. It's so different when you do something with your own hands and you see it happen in person. For example, I went up to Permapastor's farm in North Carolina a while ago and Billy, the permaculture pimp daddy up there, he's got a great channel, by the way. He was doing a chicken processing class. And once I'd seen it and done it with my hands, I'd watched it before the process, but when I actually did it with my hands, it was a massive change. I felt so much more prepared to do that process efficiently and cleanly and to do it right after I had done it hands-on, and that really stuck with me much better than just watching a video or observing anything. So that's a method of education we should all pursue more. We should all approach people who are masters in our area. There's master gardeners everywhere and older gardeners who will have a lot of wisdom to dispense, and so I definitely suggest seeking them out and doing that. The third method is probably the least fun way to learn, but probably actually the most effective, which is mistakes. And gardening is all mistakes, farming is all mistakes. Even if you're an expert, the variables change constantly, the climate changes constantly, things evolve, you change, your landscape and your land changes, your soil changes. And so you're of course going to make mistakes and you're going to kill a lot of plants. For me, I don't worry about it. I just don't stress about that at all. It's part of gardening. It's natural, it's inherent. It's not waste. If you lose some money on some seeds or perennials, you gained education if you figure out what you did wrong. And so every time you ruin something or you kill a plant or something just doesn't germinate, you've learned something that's of value. So mistakes are currency, mistakes are money. You want to make mistakes gardening. So simply allowing yourself to learn and not stressing over that, for one, it makes gardening a lot more fun, makes the whole thing more relaxing. And it makes you focus on what you need to focus on, which is taking away the lesson, because you will always kill plants, I promise. The fourth is probably my favorite, which is what I'm doing right now, and that's observation. Just coming into a wild, hardly touched area and observing nature. You can do so in an unintentional manner and just kind of walk around and just observe things with your mind and your eyes open. Or you may have a specific thing you're trying to figure out. For example, I might be trying to figure out how to solve erosion on my property. And I'll look around here and I'll look at this bank here with this river going by it. It's actually at a flood stage now. And I'll look at what kind of plants are growing and how they're interacting and what kind of trees are growing and note the specific species. And then I'll see if there's analogs in the more like productive species world. And then I will go home and I'll try to apply that to my area that I'm trying to stop erosion from. So it's also just a good excuse to come out into the woods and come hang out down by a beautiful river. I'm actually up here in Kentucky right now, headed to a show, and I took an hour off to just observe nature. I found a nice park and I'm learning and taking a break at the same time. So hopefully that gives you some ideas for expanding your knowledge. Everyone, in the meantime, stay safe, be well, and happy homesteading.